Hey everyone, Matt Reichel here with Boreas Composites and Panels in Pueblo, Colorado. If you're not aware, we are now selling the composite wall systems that we use with our Boreas Campers brand. So this is a XPS foam core with a FRP woven mat skin on each side. So highly durable, well insulated at about an R8. It comes in at about 1.6 pounds per square foot and is incredibly durable, no wood, no rot, great for any application, whether it's a truck camper, a trailer, even some industrial applications as well. So behind me, we're going to do a little rundown on how to build your camper or truck camper. And what I've got set up here is an example of for us, this is like a chassis for a trailer. That's the black tubing here. And then around it, we have aluminum exoskeleton. This is what we use with Boreas campers, and this is what we recommend to our panel customers as well. Typically, you want to see like a 2.5 to 3 inch leg. 1/8 inch gauge is always the best for durability and strength. But what we're going to do, you can see we riveted this down already to our makeshift chassis. So all this can really be done with basic hand tools. The chassis themselves, you can buy that through us as well in a 16 or a 20-foot option. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with setting the floor onto the chassis and into our EXO. So we're going to glue down. We're going to use a CNC-cut 255 to glue that floor panel down. We're going to let that set up, and then we'll do our example of the walls and the roof. So I'm going to go ahead and get this set up. We'll run that caulking and glue through here. We'll set it. I've got some spacers as well for our wall panels to slip in to give the best support you can on your wall. So I'm going to hop in here. Run a nice solid, about a 3/8 bead or so. So this would be a cross member of a chassis, or maybe it's a subframe on a truck camper. And we're going to run a bead, a little thinner bead along our EXO here. Alright, so we're going to place our spacers in here. And then we're going to take the piece that I've got cut for our floor panel. We're going to place that in, put a little pressure on it. If you've got a really big sheet, sometimes you do need to put some weight down on it just to make sure you've got good contact. But you don't want to totally squish it out and squish all that glue. You want as much glue surface area as possible. So now with these spacers in place, this panel glued in, once it's set up, we'll come back in and we're going to drop our wall panels, glue those into the EXO. Alright, now that our floor is set up with the CNC-cut 255, we can take out our shims here. These are placeholders for the wall. Something I do want to mention too is you want to make sure that you've got a clean surface for your adhesive. So a little bit of isopropyl alcohol to clean up any dirt or grime along the aluminum and on the panels. We've got a couple scrap pieces here that we're going to use for this demonstration. Make sure those are all cleaned up and ready to go. And then we're going to run some more of the 255 inside of this EXO piece here, and then we're going to slip the panels in. Alright, so we take what this would be a side wall here, and you drop that right in. With a little pressure on it. You take your other side wall. In this example, we're butting these walls together. You could do a miter cut as well. Then we'll use this 90-degree jig to make sure our corners line up. Hold it in place while that glue cures. And now we'll start into some of the sheet metal for the exo wall. Alright, so on to the corner piece of our exo. I'm going to clean this up again with some of the rubbing alcohol. And apply it directly onto the exo piece here. Making sure there aren't any gaps in there. Give it some pressure. You can also run some clamps while it's curing, but this stuff is very tacky, so as long as you've got good pressure point on it, it's going to hold and some support like what we're using this jig for here. So now we're going to pop this off, and we'll move to our, what would be our roof pieces. So again, we'll glue this up, wipe her down. And set that in right in place. Give it a little pressure. Come around to the other side of this 90-degree corner. So just like that. So the Sikaflex is an adhesive sealant as well. So you want to make sure you've got a good solid bead with no breaks in it. That'll keep that water intrusion away. You can also go and caulk the exterior again as well for a double seal. We're going to move into some of the end caps here. So we've got these pre-drilled out. And this cap is going to place right here. We'll do the same cap here. As you get into angles and things like that, you can weld up some caps, or also we're going to have some off-the-shelf product available here shortly. But we're going to go ahead and glue and rivet this on, so that covers any open corners here and also adds to the rigidity of your box. Alright, so our aluminum pieces are already pre-drilled, but we do need to pre-drill into the panel itself. So we're using a 7/32 bit here. And the type of rivet that we're using, it's a tri-fold dome head with a rubber gasket on it. That ensures that it's sealed up, and then you shave the head of this dome down so there's no open parts of that dome like a typical rivet would have. It's an aircraft style. Alright, we'll go ahead and throw this on. Do a little bit of adhesive sealant on here as well. Typically, you'll use between 9 and 10 tubes on a teardrop size unit. A little pressure. All right, then we'll go ahead and move to the top here. Same cap here. All right, so those are the corner caps. Helps sealing up the corners as well as adding rigidity to your structure, your truck camper, your teardrop, whatever you might be doing. And then you can go again, go around, caulk the exterior if you'd like, but that Sikaflex is an adhesive sealant as well. And so this creates a really strong box. And in the Boreas Campers brand, we've had multiple units roll over both on the trail and at highway and survive. Never even need to come back to the factory. They got some battle scars, but structurally 100% sound. So this composite panel, aluminum exo, is a great combination. It's a great way to build a really high quality product of yourself at home. You can go to Home Depot and buy plywood, but you can't go to Home Depot and buy structural insulated panels. So make sure to check out the website for panels, pricing, and sizing. We also have pre-built chassis, a 16-foot and a 20-foot chassis with Cruisemaster suspension that you can purchase along with a panel package. So if you've got any questions, make sure to reach out and follow us on social media.